One, I got 12th pick. I am not thrilled about that, but I'm going to turn this into a playoff team here. I'm going to try to turn it into a championship team, but I'm going to turn this 12th pick into a playoff team. Watch it happen on Random City Sports Ballers. I don't know what these folks are going to pick for their first and whatnot. We'll see how it goes. But we got 30 seconds until the draft begins, and I'm enjoying a sandwich. I made I got some of the chicken patties that you can buy frozen, and I put those in and a little bit of oil and just fried them up in a pan. You know, it comes out pretty good. Put it on a sandwich. Comes out all right. But I do not want to go into a draft hungry. And with the first pick in the $50 Yahoo Pay League, Trey Turner, then Acuna. See, I would have taken Aaron Judge. I do not look forward to seeing what gets back to me. All the good bats, the best bats will be gone, and I'll be trying to figure out. Look here, I mean, I could take Ohtani, but he doesn't play a position. He's just a utility. I'd rather have Machado. This is going to be interesting. I don't look forward to how this first couple of rounds. See, the thing is, the real changes are only in about the first 3 or 4 rounds. After that, things are all over the place anyways. People are all over the place with where their draft choices are. So being 12th just means I have to change up what my strategy would have been. I'm probably not going to have an outfielder like I would have if I had been first, because I'd have had Aaron Judge. But I don't know. Am I looking at Freddie Freeman? No, probably not. Maybe. I'm not looking at Freddie Freeman. Gone. Wow. I might end up having to look at a pitcher. I don't want to look at a pitcher. Cupcake, what are you digging for, sweetheart? My dog is over here looking for attention. Actually, I think she's looking for my sandwich. I'm going to be honest. She wants my sandwich. Okay, so this person is obviously on auto pick. He's not here. And he's going to be taking Soto. No. He took Witt. Okay. I don't know what Jason's super team is trying to figure out. He took Machado. I was looking at Machado. It's a possibility. So now we've got to put some thought into this. I know I'm going to take Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He is progressing he had inflammation in his knee, and he's getting back to where he's going to be playing full time. He's got a little discomfort, but he's going to be fine. So I know I'm taking him. So I'm going to use all this time to help me figure out what else I'm going to do here. I can't look that deep because that's just too much of a stretch. I've got much better players up here to grab for. So if I'm taking Guerrero, then I can't look at Alonso. All right, I've got 10 seconds left, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the Guerrero. Now I've got a full minute to figure out my next pick. I like the pitchers Corbin Burns and Garrett Cole. I like either one of them. I don't like taking a pitcher here. don't like taking a picture here. I don't like taking a picture here. I'm going to take a picture here. I'm taking Corbin Burnes. I don't like that. It's not my favorite. But I don't want to have every team look the same. That's a big problem that I've had in the past, where all of my teams look the same, and then an injury just wipes out your whole team. So I do try to make them look different, and this time I'm making it look like I took a picture in the second round. And that's okay. I got some pepperoni. If you're going to be doing a draft, have you some snacks. It's going to be a long time before this gets back to me. Might take Nolan Arenado. That'll be a good one for a third baseman. That'll be nice. What else we got? Nolan Arenado. And we'll just have to see what gets back to me. So, right, tentatively, I'm looking at Arenado. I would look at Corey Seager, but I know I've got a Dansby Swanson thing that I like to do later on. Although, I don't like my teams to all look the same. How'd Seager do last year? Lower batting average than I would have expected, but pretty good numbers overall. Got 33 home runs. He hit 245. That's not great. 91 runs, 83 RBIs. I could see it being the same. Goes Alonso with number 20. Marcus Semien with number 21. Actually, a little early for Semien, but I understand it. I've had teams where I have Judge, Alonso, and Semien all on the same team. That's a good start to a team. If your first 3 rounds go Judge, Alonso, and Semien, you're going to have a good season. It is still 12 picks until my turn. I don't know. Alcantara. I can see that. A little early, but okay. Yeah, sure. Devers. I don't know. I think I'm fading Devers this year. I've avoided him everywhere. Got to be just a personal thing. Is willing to take every minute, and that's fine. To take Strider, did he leave the draft? Huh. I mean, I like the Strider pick, but it took an awful long time to get there. All right, since he's got Strider and he took Trey Turner, watch him take Austin Riley. He took Ohtani, the pitcher. Wow, that is like 3 rounds earlier than I would have seen. Okay, it's a good pick. That's how these things go a lot of times. You can't count on someone being there because someone else knows about him. So much going on here. There goes Jazz Chisholm. Matt Olson just went. Tatis finally going. Aaron Nola's still sitting there. I can't let my bats suffer, so I can't be tempted by that Aaron Nola because I already have Burnes. I have to round out my bats. Arenado's still there. I'll remind myself of that. That shores up third base. I'm not huge on stolen bases. I think we've talked about that. I'm not huge on stolen bases. So I kind of ignore those, so I'm not looking at Michael Harris. I know it's gonna be my undoing is stolen bases, but I'd rather have a weakness that Arenado just went. Well, the draft is over. My draft is ruined. Just kidding. No, there's plenty of ways to make your draft better or worse. Plenty of ways. So much to view here. I'm not taking DeGrom. Would I want Lindor? Not really. Not really. Don't want DeGrom, don't want Woodruff, don't want Clace. I could take Altuve, not be upset. Don't care about stolen bases, so Luis Robert and Michael Harris are not on my radar. Verlander and Scherzer, not on my radar. I could see Corey Seager, but I have a Dansby Swanson later. This is the time to make interesting. Oh, when Lindor just went, so I can't have him anyways. And there went Altuve. Changed my options for me, fellas. You changed my options. All right, well, what I'm going to do then, so I'm going to look here at Corey Seager and Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber will get me my home runs. Seager will get me home runs with some batting averages. Okay, wasn't last year, but because wow, everybody else is about to be taking pitchers, aren't they? All right, so I can come back and get Varsho, catcher. I could have Hernandez in the outfield. Boy. All right, draft Corey Seager. Now, with this second one, this will be quicker. Not a Rosarina. I'm still looking at Schwarber, so I'm going to go ahead and take him. All right, so now I've got Guerrero, Seager, Schwarber, and Corbin Burns. I'm cool with this so far. What is 11 going to do? He just took Altuve. What will he do? He might be looking at a pitcher. There's a lot of them. He did. He took Verlander. And then 10 is probably looking at a pitcher too. Who's going to be the one that takes DeGrom? It's going to be interesting. Who's going to take Scherzer? Oh boy, sure. I've never seen Scherzer. I haven't seen Scherzer finish a season in a long time. Someone's going to take him. Someone's going to take Dylan Cease. I don't know. This seems like a area where I actually kind of like being the first pick and letting these things fall back to me. There's a good chance I would have been looking at a pitcher if I was first pick. I do have a pitcher so far. Out of my 4 picks, I have 1 pitcher, and that's plenty for now. There's a lot left to do. Let's see what's available at second base, shall we? Second base is starting to get thin. And it's going to get even thinner by the time it comes back to me. So, we're going to have to play second base a little bit difficult. What about third base? There's a lot available at third base. I've already got a shortstop in Seager, so let's see what's available in the outfield. Okay, there's a lot available still. I mean, I could look at... if I look at Varsho, he's my catcher. I don't want Luis Robert or Cedric Mullins. They're stolen base. Starling Marte is the same thing. I've said it before, I like the home runs. And if I get any stolen bases, that's a bonus deal. So I'd be looking at Teoscar Hernandez, Eloy Jimenez. These are a couple of guys I could look at. Because we're a little early for me to be pulling the trigger on some of these. Let's take a look at the second base again here. Albies, there's no way he gets back to me. If he does, he's on my team. That's the guy I'll take. But he's not getting back to me. If he does, these fellas really ignored something, and they should not have. There's no way Ozzie Albies should get back to me. So for second base, I'm probably going to have to look at Max Muncy or Brandon Lau. So I can wait a while on second base. For third base, I could go with Bregman. I could go with Gunnar Henderson. I could go with Max Muncy or Eugenio Suarez. I could go with Matt Chapman. So I've got a lot of options still here. In the outfield, where I only have the one outfielder, I like Teoscar Hernandez, Eloy Jimenez, and later on, it starts to get thin. But we deal with this. We're only 4 rounds in here, fellas. Don't let yourself get worried about your draft in the 4th round. It's not a disaster. No matter what you think, you're fine. A lot of people panic. Oh no, it's the 4th round and I've only got Guerrero, Schwarber, and Corey Seager with Corbin Burns pitching. Oh no. So don't let yourself panic. Stay calm. Dylan Cease just went. Okay. Real Muto went. Okay. Ozzie Albies gets back to me and he's on my team. These folks, they know what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in a pay league. You know what you're doing when you're in a pay league. You just want to think you do. Hello, doggo. I don't have a sandwich for you anymore, sweetheart. Sorry. Okay. So, Springer, Charles Super Team. Let's take a look at what he's got so far. He's got Real Muto, Devers. He just took Marte. Acuna, he must have a pitcher. Yeah, he took Edwin Diaz. Real Muto, Devers, Acuna, and Marte. He's going after, he's trying to get 5 categories out of everybody, but he's actually weakening himself in some of the categories by doing that. Oh, there went Eloy Jimenez. That's a shame. That's a shame. Okay. I thought he might get around to me a couple of rounds from now. Not happening in this world. There went Ozzie Albies. As I said, there was no way he was getting back to me. So, now we're looking at Teoscar Hernandez. Too early for another pitcher. It's got to be more bats. Everything here has got to be a bat. Interesting. Do I hate Teoscar Hernandez? No. There's Alex Bregman. Not thrilled. Here's Dansby Swanson and Willie Adames. So there's my shortstops. I'll have, oh no, I already have Corey Seager. I can ignore shortstop. Yes. Okay, will Will Smith make it back to that pick? Probably not. There's Christian Javier, so later on I can Christian Javier and some other stuff happening. Christian Javier and Gunnar Henderson. That could be interesting. Looking at Jordan Romano if I want to catch some saves. It's not a terrible idea. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Varsho last year had 27 home runs. Can you believe that? Interesting year for him. Okay. I really like the look of Teoscar Hernandez. Just staring right at me right there. Could I theoretically, if I ignore pitching, I get no pitching. So who do I take here? All right, I like the look of Teoscar Hernandez. If I ignore pitching, I get no pitching. Ryan Presley just went with Manoah and Urias. See, if I ignore pitching, I get no pitching. So I could actually have Zach Wheeler here. Carlos Rodon is hurt, by the way. Yu Darvish, Luis Castillo, Zach Gallen is coming up. So I should take Teoscar Hernandez. What comes after that? What if... All right, let's take Hernandez. And then I like Yu Darvish, always have, so I'm just going to go ahead and take Yu Darvish. There we go. So now we've got 4 bats and 2 pitchers. Some folks would want more bats, but I'm okay with this. I'm hoping Will Smith gets back around to me because Dalton Varsho will not. This is going to be round 7 and 8. And I don't need a shortstop anymore, but I'd like to have a catcher. There's Christian Javier. Wander Franco, Gunnar Henderson, that's right. I need to start going ahead. I'm going to queue up some of these folks. I'm going to queue Varsho, even though he's not coming back to me. I will queue up, I don't need shortstops, Will Smith and Dalton Varsho. You know, even though I have a shortstop, I wouldn't hate having Willy Adames on my team just for funsies. You know what? And since that's what I'm saying, I might as well say the same thing about Xander Bogaerts. He doesn't hit home runs anymore, does he? I don't know. Dansby Swanson. I got to clean this up. I can't just do that. Okay, so Willy Adames, I got to look at Christian Javier. Looking at Gunnar Henderson. Okay, I've got a few queued up. I've got Varsho, Will Smith, Willy Adames, Christian Javier, and Gunnar Henderson. So let's see who among those gets back to me. There went Zach Wheeler and Framber Valdez. I get that. Both good options. Just weren't the options I wanted at the time. O'Neal Cruz and Devin Williams. And there went Carlos Rodon finally. Someone's willing to take the risk. I don't know exactly how injured he is or how long. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So, in fact, I bet I could get some info. What do they say here? He has a forearm strain. He's going to begin the season injured. There's no damage to the UCL ligament, ulnar collateral ligament, for those who have fancy words in their brains. Shut down from throwing for 7 to 10 days, beginning on March 9th. And, okay, well, we don't know how long he's going to be out. But it's just, I have a friend who never, ever, under any circumstances, will draft a player who's even day-to-day to begin the season. He just won't do it. I understand that. It makes sense. You don't want to put all your eggs into a broken basket. And Max Fried and Kevin Gausman just went off the board. So people are taking pitchers. Just like I said, I needed to get Darvish or some pitcher because they were going to take them. You know, these players just leave. Now, I've been targeting round 9 and 10 for closers. Just take a look at what's available there. And there went Christian Javier. That's unfortunate. So, somewhere in there is a Kenley Jansen. I may be able to get him, and Felix Bautista is hurt. Oh, he's got a knee and shoulder problem. He should be ready to go opening day. Good. So, what if I had Bautista and Kenley Jansen? That would be amazeballs. Well, I'm having fun, all right. And Dalton Varsho just went. What are you going to do? I knew he wouldn't get back to me. I was hoping Will Smith would. So let's see if that comes together. It's heart-wrenching. But Will Smith would be a fine one to put into that position. And then, should I take a closer early? Since, yeah, I am the end of these rounds. If I want a closer, I have to take them in this set of picks. Otherwise, I won't get. It'll be like Varsho. I know he's not getting back to me. Well, I know Kenley Jansen's not getting back to me, and I'd kind of like to have Kenley Jansen. Let's take a look at those closers again. Bautista, Helsley, Camilo Doval, Kenley Jansen. So, yep, I have to take him now or I won't get him. Let's take a look back at the total lineups. There went Xander Bogaerts. Next off the board will be, McCarthy from Arizona. Okay, that's fine with me. There went Alex Bregman. Come on, baby, bring me Will Smith. There's another pitcher, Zach Gallen. These fellas, I love being in a competitive league, but the draft gets so much more stressful. You just want to draft against a bunch of people who have never played before, but why would they all pay $50 to play? They would not. They would not pay $50 to play. Okay. Will Smith last year did fine. If he repeats that, I'm excellent. See what Swanson did last year? It was a good year for Dansby Swanson. It didn't start out great, but he really picked up. Ryan Helsley. Oh, Gunnar Henderson just left. That's why I'm looking elsewhere for third base, because Gunnar Henderson is gone. Can't count on these people to get back to you. I'm starting to regret the Corey Seager thing. I could have made a different pick there, and then I could be taking Willy Adames or Dansby Swanson, either one. There went Wander Franco. So, are we assuming that, okay, what does his team look like? Oh, he's got a lot of pitchers already, so he's looking at outfield, maybe? No. What the heck is he looking at? What's available for him? Huh. Yeah, I could see him taking Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds. It was Brian Reynolds. Okay. That's a good pick for his team. Oh, man. I feel like I'm going to have Will Smith and Kenley Jansen after this round. Yeah, Will Smith feels good. Thank you for being on our team, Will Smith. Now, let's double check. Make sure I'm thinking right here. Yep. It's going to be Will Smith and Kenley Jansen. So let's do that. Will Smith, Kenley Jansen. And so now I have catcher. I still need second and third, outfield utility, and I need to fill in pitchers soon. But on my next round back, I can fill in some more of those pitchers. There will be plenty of pitchers to look at. Fellas, like, let's take a look who's down here as far as pitchers go. Good chance of Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Charlie Morton, Lucas Giolito. Well, Giolito had a rough season. Joe Ryan, though. Oh, look, there's some bats here, too, like Eugenio Suarez. He should be waiting a while longer. Daniel Bard, if I need another closer. Jordan Montgomery, I'm not too excited about. How did he do last year? Yeah, it was a decent year, but, I mean, all right, nothing information-wise there for him. There's Jeffrey Springs. I like Jeffrey Springs. Jeffrey Springs, yeah. If you notice, Willy Adames just went right after my picks, so my queue is now empty. I think that was a good place to take Willy Adames. I still need second and third base. I really can't miss on second and third base. I can't do myself dirty. Well, 91, 92, 93, all pitchers. So they're really getting in a groove on pitchers here, fellas. Oh, 90 was Robbie Ray. Yeah, last 4 picks have been pitchers. Jeffrey Springs gone. He was on my radar for a moment. Great. Oh no, the draft is over. 8 rounds in. There's still a lot of time left, fellas. Lots of draft left. Be patient. I'm surprised Dansby Swanson is still there. If he gets back to me, he's on my team. I don't care whether or not I need him. Well, I'm not taking Byron Buxton. He went with the 100th pick overall. It's fine. Tommy Edmonds gone. There went Tristan McKenzie. So we're at pick 102. I've got 5 more picks until I'm back up. And man, Swanson is still there just tempting me, going, you know, if I'm here, you're taking me. And I know I am gonna. I know that's true, Dansby Swanson. If you're still sitting there, I'm taking you. Yelich, there's Carlos Correa. Don't have a need for him. Santander. There's a lot I can wait for until later, which I will do. Right now, I'm just focused on, I've got 2 more infielders, 1 more outfielder, and my utilities. I only have 3 total pitchers, 2 starters and 1 closer. So I have to be looking at some pitching here as well. Someone just took Blake Snell. That makes my life easier because I am taking Dansby Swanson. I don't care if I need him or not. So what else do I take? Do I take Tyler O'Neill? Probably not. I take Dansby Swanson. We know that. Let's cue him up. And, okay, who's pick number 2 going to be? Santander? I don't hate Santander. That'd be a good one to put in my outfield. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to take Santander and Dansby Swanson. And there. Now I have utility and filled up my outfield. So I'm still looking for second and third base. Okay, well, while I was on the phone, I lost my chance at Max Muncy. I could Brandon Drury third base. I could Matt Chapman. Ryan McMahon plays second and third. So I am definitely going to have to take a look at pitching. Logan Webb, David Bednar, Nick Lodolo, Charlie Morton, Lucas Giolito, Joe Ryan, Daniel Bard. All right, we got a lot going on here. I'm going to be taking some pitchers. You can see Daniel Bard here that I'm looking at. Had a fine season last year. David Bednar. Logan Webb just left. So no Logan Webb for you. Okay. But I have to take pictures here. I have to. What on earth happened to Tony Gonsolin? He sprained an ankle. Aw, it's unfortunate. These things happen, it's unfortunate. If I were to take 2, I would take Joe Ryan and Daniel Bard. I think I could go ahead and take Bard right now. I could take Bard right now. Under all players. Okay. So, we're going to go back to pitchers. I'm going to queue up Daniel Bard. And I have to give serious thought to Eugenio Suarez. And I can Ryan McMahon this later. Need to pull a trigger here soon. I'm definitely taking Bard. Let's take a look at starting pitchers. There's a few left, but I've got to get one soon. I liked what Joe Ryan did last year. So I'm going to go ahead and take him again this year. Okay. A little early for Joe Ryan for a lot of folks' taste, I promise you, but I've been missing a lot of players by waiting too long. I'm not going to do that again on this one. So now I've got 2 closers, 3 starters. I still need second and third base. And I could stand to look at some more stuff, but I can wait a bit on that second and third base. Charlie Morton, he's not getting back to you. Charlie Morton, he's more strikeouts than anything. I like strikeouts. Chris Bryant, Christian Yelich. That's fine, fellas. Take away. I may need to take a bat as well as a pitcher this time. We'll see how it comes around. So Contreras, Fairbanks, and Nick Castellanos all just went. Again, it's not anybody who's on my radar, so I'm just fine with it. Jesus Luzardo. What's going on with him? He had 6 strikeouts, and somebody just took him, so no point in looking at him. Jordan Montgomery. He had an alright year. He'll probably have an alright year again. I don't know. People get sold on like Dustin May. I don't hate a Dustin May. He didn't have a great year, but that was coming off an injury. And dang it, pitching continues to get thin. And there went Mountcastle. And there went Anthony Rizzo. I have Guerrero at first base, and I'm not really excited about Rizzo anymore. Maybe I'm biased. Hard to say. There went Munoz, so I don't have to think about him. Pablo Lopez, Chris Bassett. Don't hate Chris Bassett now. Don't you go hating on him. His velocity is back up, so don't you go hating on Chris Bassett, you. I'm just sitting here watching draft go by. There went Brandon Lau. There went Chris Sale. You can have him. You know who was a good pitcher last year? It was Drew Rasmussen. Okay. So, should probably look at Eugenio Suarez and then Charlie Morton. Or I could look at Charlie Morton and Chris Bassett. If I do this. Okay, Charlie Morton and Chris Bassett. Okay, now I am good and pitching. I need to ignore pitching now. I have to ignore pitching and finish off my bats. So, since I can ignore pitching at this point, let's switch this over and go to all players and see where everybody's coming in now. Mitch Haniger, I didn't know he was hurt. What happened to Mitch Haniger? MRI, grade 1 oblique strain. Oh, boy, does that is going to be putting his... Your obliques are along your side here. Imagine how difficult it becomes to swing a bat when you strain your oblique. So he's off of my draft list entirely now for this year. Anywhere that I've drafted him already, I'm going to be like, oh boy. Well, don't you touch Matt Chapman. There went McNeil, the New York Mets second base outfielder. There went Whit Merrifield finally. Evan Phillips, so I lost one out of my queue. Carlos Correa. That was my pick. It's my pick. Chapman got back to me. So let's just go ahead and I'm taking Matt Chapman, fellas. Ping. And then with my next one, hey, guess what? I'm going to take some Ryan McMahon early. Ping. Okay, at least I have serviceable infielders. I mean, I'm okay with McMahon and Chapman being second and third base. I feel good about outfield. I love having Dansby Swanson as a utility. I still need another utility, but my infield, outfield, all done. Room for a bat, and now I can start playing with pitchers. He just took Joey Meneses. That's one of my guys that I've been liking to put on my team because I think he's got definite potential. That's unfortunate. All right, so what else we got here? I don't see anything on here that I like. And what has happened with pitchers? Are they all just gone? So, there's not much left here. Oh, someone took Lang, so there goes another one out of my queue. I still have Drury and Kelly in my queue. Okay, so we're into the final 7 picks. And you gotta know what you want for your team. Everybody is trying to draft their team. My next 2 are going to be Brandon Drury and Merrill Kelly. But that might not be what you want for your team. You might want yours to look different than I want mine. I could understand if you look at what we have here for pitchers, you have John Gray, Andrew Heaney, Alex Cobb, Patrick Sandoval, Merrill Kelly, Lance McCullers, injured, Jose Barrios, Nate Eovaldi, Jameson Taillon, Edward Cabrera, Sonny Gray, Carlos Carrasco, Marcus Stroman. Things are really getting thin is the point I'm trying to make to you here. You got to be prepared for this part of the draft. And I feel like I'm prepared because what I'm going to look at now, I'm definitely going to have Merrill Kelly. That'll give me 6 starting pitchers. Is that 6 total? Yeah. With Burns, Darvish, Ryan, Morton, Bassett, and Merrill Kelly. Those 6 are a good, strong 6. Then, to get quality innings, I'm going to take some relief pitchers that may not necessarily be closers right now, but they have a potential to become closers, or just someone who's going to give me quality innings. Because a lot of times, a reliever can get you some wins and not necessarily have to, be a reach. It's not going to be a difficult pick to grab someone. For example, let's take a look here. Lopez from Minnesota last year had 4 wins and 12 saves and a terrible ERA and WHIP. Boy, I do not want my team to look like that. Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown? Isn't he? Oh, yeah, he's trying to take that starting spot. Reed Detmers. Sir Anthony Dominguez. Okay, here's a good example. He had 6 wins last year with a 3.12 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP. That's pretty good. James Karinchak. 4 wins, 81 strikeouts, 2.88 ERA and 1.14 WHIP. See, these are quality innings, and sometimes you fill those in throughout the weeks. You just don't know what it'll give to you. It could give you something amazing. It's very seldom going to hurt you to get those quality innings. But I'm still looking at I'm going to be able to use some of my final picks to get those type of players. I might grab another bat after I get Brandon Drury, assuming I get Drury. I mean, other folks might be interested in him. I'd like to get him. What do we got for batters left over here? Christian Walker. I don't hate Christian Walker. Lars Nootbaar. I don't hate Lars. I've got 2 ideas. They're queued up. If they both get to me, then this has worked out into a very good draft for me. And then we fill in those bench positions, which I still have to fill in all of my bench. 5 bench players. Possibly 1 bat. Okay. Well, it's back to my turn, and yet again, my guys got back to me, so I'm taking Drury, and I'm taking Merrill Kelly. There. I got who I wanted. Okay, and there went Hunter Brown, and Mitch Haniger finally went to somebody. They're going to take him with the 207th pick. He'll be back to form at some point, and he'll be hitting home runs. It's going to be a long wait. So if you've got the patience to wait on that player to come back from his injury, you're good to go. Everybody wants to build the team they want. I wish I had a little more versatility of position with some of these guys. I really do. Okay, so what are we looking at? I'm not looking at batters anymore. I'm going to be looking at pitchers. I could take Sandoval. I'd be happy with Sandoval. How long is McCullers supposed to be out? I mean, I could take a chance on McCullers and throw him on my bench in the injured reserve slots there, the disabled list fellas. I will queue up Sir Anthony Dominguez. I already have Sandoval queued up. Or Karinchak is a good one for quality innings. I'm going to queue up Karinchak. 5 picks left. You know, I could take a chance on Flaherty. Seriously, Jack Flaherty, I could take a chance on him. He might come back to form. And Sandoval's gone. Unfortunate. Edward Cabrera. Yeah. We're in that part of the draft, guys. Someone literally just took Edward Cabrera while I was looking at him. Trying to read the info and someone took him. That's messed up. Okay. Well, I'm definitely wanting Karinchak because he throws quality innings, and I need that. And all of these are interesting to look at. Nobody just jumps out and says, "You got to draft me." Giovanni Gallegos always does decent year with quality innings and a couple of wins, probably pick up a couple of saves. What's the beef on Kopech? Shame he gets injured so often. He had such promise. So I suppose I'll just take a Jack Flaherty chance. Let's see if he comes back to form. That's what we're looking for. I could stand one more bat. And that one more bat, I think I'm going to make it Josh Young. I only have 3 picks left. Let's look at relief pitchers. Adam Ottavino. That's a good chance to steal. Him and Adam Simber are both a good chance to steal some wins. Not a lot of them, one every 4 weeks or so. But the good news is they're going to be putting up some good ERA and WHIP, and I need quality innings to make up for some of the players that I've got. My starting pitchers, some of them have a pretty high ERA and WHIP, and I can bring that down with the quality inning of some relief pitchers. Cue up Gallegos. I will cue up Adam Ottavino. And I don't know if I need to cue up anyone else. I could. Let's take a look at Adam Simber. 3 picks left. 3 people left in my queue. All right, so now I'm going to take Josh Young. He's a young player. A lot of you haven't heard of him, but he has a very good chance at doing some cool stuff this year. Let's take a look at some info. He went 1 for 3 with the 2-run home run in spring game against the Cubs. He's batting .250 in Cactus League. He's healthy and playing spring ball. Didn't play in 2020 because of pandemic. Foot injury 2021. Shoulder surgery 2022. And he's going to be the starting third baseman. So I'm taking him. And then, okay, let's go with Giovanni Gallegos. Let's see what that does to the standings. Oh, look, I moved up to 5th. And I dropped my ERA by .04. My whip remained about the same. This part of the draft is the worst. You just sit, wait for your pick, and take a guess. You're throwing darts. Mm-hmm. You're just throwing darts, trying to go, well, maybe this guy. Oh, maybe this guy. I'm going to get a very stable relief pitcher who's going to give me some quality innings with some strikeouts and hopefully an occasional win. Hopefully. And, every 1 out of every 4 weeks he'll get a win, and I'll just be like, yay! According to projected standings, this is a playoff team. According to projected standings, I have the worst batting average and stolen bases in the league, and that's always the case, 100% of the time. I never go after stolen bases and batting average, ever. Injuries happen. You never know what's going to happen. I'm happy with this draft. Now, if everybody just does what they did last year on my team, I would be 3rd place finish. So I would be in the playoffs. But, we're looking at, some players are going to have a regression. Some people are going to have progression and do better. And you just never know exactly how their numbers are going to come in, but it's going to be close to what's predicted. And he takes Adam Ottavino with the final pick of the $50 draft. Booyah! Which they have me predicted just outside of playoffs. But if we're going by last year's stats, I'm well into the playoffs.